Welcome to episode 20 of the two-man game.
Big 20 milestone.
With my guy, Mellow May.
Of course, you know what it is.
And a guest for the show.
Want to introduce yourself, boy?
It's Eddie, 23 years old. Let's go. Let's get it.
What team you support?
Nigeria.
He's
the first international supporter of football.
Elusive one.
I'm patriotic, you know. I've got to support my country.
That 4-4 against, was it 4-4 against?
Sierra Leone.
Yeah, I think we were 4-0 up.
Yeah, man.
That's Arsenal.
That's typical Nigeria, man, but what can I say, man?
You got an abundance of talent in Nigeria, man. Hello, attackers. Who's the best Nigerian talent right now?
Osimhen looks great.
Chukwueze.
I haven't even seen him for a few weeks, but...
Does he start for Napoli?
I haven't seen him for... I've seen Mertens, I've seen Petagna, but I haven't seen him for... It must be injured, but it looks good.
You'll be seeing him sing here. That's my guy still.
How about that Kareem Adeyemi guy for Salzburg? I heard he's going to be a big talent.
He's supposed to be the next one up, but I don't think he's going to play for Nigeria.
All these men, like Xerxes is Nigerian. What else? Who else? There's a couple still.
Sure. We're struggling to think of names. Mikel still about?
Mikel, there's one guy called Nonson Maduki or something like that. Plays for PSV.
Is he Nigerian?
Yeah, he's Nigerian. Apparently, he's quite good.
Who?
Nancy. How about Chukwueze?
I haven't even been seeing for Villarreal, but I hope Emery doesn't kill the boy. Because Emery doesn't do well with flare attackers like that. But
you know what Emery did to flare attackers? He cost my boys.
Which boys of yours did he cost?
He cost my boys.
Which ones?
My old boys.
So who did he cost?
Aubameyang, like I said. All these guys.
Aubameyang 8, to be fair. But under Arteta, 3 goals.
Yep, we know what Arteta is. A Spanish fraud.
We're going to discuss Arteta later on in the segment and his shortcomings right now. But, the news right now, catching all the headlines, obviously was the big boxing fight over the weekend. Anthony AJ Joshua, unified champ, part of the WBO, IBF, WBA, and I think IBO titles. Obviously defending his titles successfully against Kubrat the Cobra Pulev. Talk to me. What was your thoughts, your analysis with that fight? What did you see? What didn't you see? What impressed you? What didn't impress you?
Obviously, they let Pulev off the building site early for that fight. Boy, he did not show me enough. All he was there was doing dirty tactics, which he did seem to rattle Joshua with, which was surprising. And that's not a good sign for the future. As you know, that's not even a good sign for against Wilder as well, because Wilder is known for his antics. Especially he wore that suit, the suit of metal that he wore that time that was weighing him down and stuff like that. He's known to rattle people before he gets in the ring, and Joshua was rattled, fam. Man was kind of rattled by the builder. Pulev really didn't offer anything, to be honest. He couldn't really get through Joshua's jab. Joshua was just hitting him for fun. All Pulev was really doing was trying to give him those punches behind the head.
Rabbit punches.
The rabbit punches. And Joshua was falling for it a bit. I saw Joshua punch him one time after the bell. Yeah. And that's when I knew that just a bit rattled by what Pulev was doing, but you so much the better fighter. Like, it was really a non-contest, to be honest. It was really a non-contest.
I mean, Pulev was the man so he had to fight him regardless. I mean, he did rattle Joshua in the build-up a bit, which was a bit strange because he kind of, from outside looking in, feel like it happened out of nowhere. And then Joshua just sparked and then, they start saying, Pulev's like, I'm going to show you tomorrow. I'm going to show you tomorrow. It was hilarious. I mean, but he did get him a bit off his game, off his square, a tiny bit. I mean, especially in the third when the knockdowns came, is that Joshua was a bit too much trying to force the knockout in terms of swinging for the fences a bit. I mean, Pulev was kind of there for the taking. He could have been stopped because, when he starts when he's offering his back and turning his back. But in that moment, usually Joshua, his punch variation is usually more concise and better, as in to the body, to the head, hooks and the uppercut. But in that round, even though he did knock him down twice, he was just swinging hard. And obviously, maybe some better fighters, they can potentially use that against you. But Pulev, he's skilled. I mean, I like you brought Wilder. Pulev is more skilled than Wilder. Does he carry as much threat as Wilder? No, he doesn't. But he's more skilled than Wilder, has a better background. And he did catch Joshua a few times. The rabbit punches. Since I liked it in a way because that's the sort of thing you're gonna see when you fight certain guys. And as good as Fury is, that's a fight obviously everyone wants to see. Fury, he's willing to go to those ends to make the fight dirty. And Joshua, seen as the upstanding guy, the noble man, blah blah blah. Sometimes you're gonna have to fight dirty to win a fight because if the referee's letting it go, like I always say to my guys when we're playing for our football teams, like the referee's not gonna give us anything. You have to adapt. You know what I mean? When the referees are letting tackles go or what's it called, they're not just letting stuff go. You have to adapt to that game. If you keep complaining to the ref, you're gonna throw you off your game, and eventually you're gonna score from a BS goal, which in normal conditions would be a BS goal. But that's how the referee's calling the game. You have to adapt. And
how was your boys this weekend?
I'll talk about them later. We won. Was it 6-2, 6-3?
I'm talking about those.
Scored, didn't it? It scored, didn't it?
Hey, my guy scored.
I'm not talking about those boys.
The young G's.
Oh, my young G's. We'll talk about them later. But we're on our journey. More time spent on the training grounds, more commitment. We can get where we need to go. But that's a story for later on in the pod potentially.
Yeah.
But so the rabbit punch. I like the fact AJ threw rabbit punches back. So if what's called, he's letting Pulev know that you want to do this nonsense, I'm gonna do it too. And that's the sort of thing you have to do sometimes, as long as he doesn't throw you off your game. But what I would say, to credit Pulev, his chin is amazing. He was taking some hellacious shots. How many uppercuts was he eating? Even after the third round, when he got knocked down twice, he came back strong and able to last to the knife. I mean, you could potentially critique Josh for not knocking him out earlier. I don't really see that. I mean, it was calculated. He took his time. The way I would really critique him is that until later on in the fight, like around 6, 7, 8, and 9, that's when he started to jab a bit more to the body, as in off a punch variation. You know how I said about Errol Spence before? Like when Errol Spence is there, you don't know where the punches are coming from. They're going to the body, they're going to the head, his left, straight, right uppercut, hook. There's so many different punches, you can't stop it. It's so quick. And if Joshua adds that to his game, it'll be a lot harder to stop because when he's on his game, throwing the punches, you don't know where it's coming from. You know what I mean? When guys headhunt like Dubois was, it's easy to predict. Wilder, he heads on. It's easy to predict and to counter and to dodge because you know what punch he's going to throw. But all in all, it was a year out. I liked it. Got a job done. He was professional. He got a knockout. I mean, it would have been a bit disappointing. It would have been very disappointing if he went to decision. Joshua done what he needed to do. On to Tyson Fury.
Yeah, I was impressed with those just his new tactics. Obviously, ever since that Ruiz fight where he got shocked, he's been a bit more calculated in the ring, takes less chances, obviously. But in obviously the ninth round, he was just swinging for he just wanted to get Pulev done. I think maybe he extended the fight because he had the paying public there. You don't really want to pay the paying public to be there, and you knock a man out in 3 rounds. Because after the third round, he kind of just went for those middle rounds. He kind of it was like boxing like an amateur. It was like a point scoring machine. He was just working the body, working some head punches, the uppercuts, and he was giving Pulev. Pulev was just eating punches. Even though you might say Pulev's skilled, he's like a blunt instrument. That's it. The only way he could really, there was no prospect of him winning. It was Pulev didn't even have a chance to really rock Joshua. I never felt like Joshua was on edge or Joshua was threatened. It was just a routine victory, and which is good as a boxer. You need those routine victories. You need to make possible difficult fights seem simple and easy.
It's true.
And that's quite impressive in that.
Pulev caught him a couple of times, and Joshua, unlike the Ruiz fight, he tied him up, he hugged him. When you get caught, if you even just stung a little bit, if you have an opportunity to tie them up, there's 2 things. Either tie them up or you keep your distance. And obviously, because Pulev is shorter, so when he wants to rock him, he's going to have to come close towards Joshua. And when he does that, you tie them up quickly. You diffuse the situation. That's what Joshua done really well. I have to give him credit there. He done what he was supposed to do. Until the next time. Yeah.
Onto whatever fight next, Usyk, Fury. I don't really care to be honest.
Actually, what I would say as well, before the third round, he pulled the classic Mayweather pull counter, and that's fitting that Mayweather was there in the crowds, the GOAT, to see that in full effect.
How did Mayweather get in there?
He's Mayweather.
That's so dumb. He broke coronavirus rules.
It's Mayweather.
He broke the rules, fam. Tell Mayweather to stay in.
Who cares about the rules? It's Mayweather.
Who cares about the rules? Someone needs to.
The rules are all over the place.
It's a punch all over after the ring sounds. Yeah.
It's Money Mayweather, but yeah, the pull counter.
Yeah, we know Money Mayweather and his cheating ways.
Cheating?
Remember what he did to that guy when the gloves were down? Who was it again?
Because the guy was headbutting him all fight. That's what I told you. You got to adapt to the rules. If the ref is letting someone go and headbutt you all fight, you have the opportunity.
But he
to
knocked him when his gloves were down. He
Yeah.
tried to do this.
Yeah, because the guy was an idiot. He was headbutting the whole fight, and you know,
Should headbutt him
and
harder.
he tried to bread him by saying sorry, and the man knocked him out. That's what I said. If guys are cheating, then you go give back of your own. You can't be nice guy all the time.
Condone cheating.
If the referee's letting stuff go, you have to adapt to the conditions of the game. If you don't adapt to the conditions of the game, that's how you can lose. You can't lose. If you do all the nice patty stuff, like, no, I'm a better noble guy, I'm going to fight the right way. That's how England lose in football. they don't want, they say diving is bad, blah, 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 even some of them dive.
But
they say,
England are top divers, fam.
Well,
the
they say
top divers are here. Kane,
they say all the
Greenwood, Rashford,
you
top
see
divers.
how
Greenwood.
He was a diver, fam.
Rashford.
Huh?
Nah,
Rashford is a diver,
Rashford
man.
gets fouled.
Rashford,
Come on,
I don't know what you're looking at.
Rashford is a diver, man.
Sterling goes to ground easy, but Rashford and Greenwood's.
Oh my, Greenwood
That's
against
wild.
Leipzig. He pulled.
That's not a dive.
These man buy pens.
Yeah, that's different from diving.
Okay.
Buying pen and diving.
buying pens, diving.
But you see how Ronaldo got Rooney sent off, and how what's his name? Not his name. Simeone got Beckham sent off in those competitions. All the English guys in the media be like, "Oh, you can't do this. This is immoral." Blah blah blah. That's how you win tournaments or win those type of games. You have to do
Kane
something.
could just pass to Sterling.
That's why you have to do them sort of stuff at times. You can't be Mr. Nice Guy all the time. You know what I mean? But obviously, AJ got through his mandatory against Pulev. The next fight everyone wants to see is Fury.
I don't even want to see it too tough anymore.
How come?
Guys, I think Fury will beat him, man. I'm more and more confident that Fury will beat him even after the last performance, because I just don't see the ways that Joshua can hurt Fury as much as Fury can hurt Joshua. Because let's say that Joshua takes this measured approach and how he's boxing, he's not going to outpoint Fury.
He's not going to try to go for I'll be shocked.
And is he going to really knock him out?
You can knock him out, yeah.
I don't really put money in it. He's just some Wilder punches, bruv. Yeah. And Wilder didn't knock him out.
Joshua, I've said before, it's a misnomer that they say Wilder's the heaviest hitting guy in the history of boxing. Yeah, if you're knocking out tomato cans, of course you look like the heaviest guy in the world.
But he took one of the hardest punches in boxing, which is that right hand.
Yeah.
And he didn't get knocked out. And what's Joshua's the only way Joshua's gonna really knock him out is a bludgeoning of punches to the head. You think Fury's dumb? Fury's gonna be. We know what Fury's head movement is on.
I'll give you a scenario. What's worse? One guy has a 10 out of 10 punch and hits you once, or a guy with a 9 out of 10 punch that hits you 3, 4, 5 times. Because the difference in their power
How many times is Joshua going to hit him in the head?
No, but it takes you hit him once and they're stunned, and Joshua has combinations.
Joshua got a weak chin.
It's debatable, but we're going by the scenario. Joshua's actually hit Fury clean. Not just the one time. He's going to hit the combinations. When Wilder hits you once, to be fair, guys do go down, but Joshua comes to the left, the right, the uppercuts. He has combinations. Combination puncher.
The reach advantage that Fury also has as well.
Yeah.
Joshua's going to be in a totally different fight. Like, he's fighting someone that's taller, more reach, and probably more, that's a cleverer boxer. I just believe Fury will win. Like,
Fury does have more tools. Fury's more adaptable, and Fury's got more skill.
So you're saying, as you said, he's got more of everything.
Not everything. He's got more of adaptable.
The only thing that Joshua really has is what? Power,
speed, athleticism.
The speed advantage is not that much.
Fury's speed is deceptive, but Joshua's got more speed in him, especially in this way.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
It's not that.
And the combination punches, and Joshua does carry a lot of power.
It's just a combination punches that are effective to Fury when Fury's moving away from them.
Fury, he can obviously dodge a lot of those punches. He can easily dodge Wilder's punches. Wilder's punches are just there to be telegraphed. Joshua's punches not like that. Joshua, he has a bit more deception in what's it called? Deceiving his punches.
You saw the last time he fought someone that's very skilled with their hands, like Ruiz. Look what happened.
Yeah, you beat him.
No, but Ruiz caused him trouble, bro. It's not like it was like...
The second fight, the reason it caused him in trouble.
It didn't cause him any trouble, but in the first fight, it caused him trouble.
The first fight, he caused him trouble. I mean, what's it called? Robin McCracken, Joshua's trainer, alluded to it. He said Joshua was 100%. I'll have to wait to see what Joshua says. Who knows? I mean, it was a late... what's it called?
He said he's not going to ever do that again.
Yeah, which is good. I mean, he did overlook Ruiz. He probably listened to his own hype, and then he got punished. But it happens in the heavyweight division. Happened to Lennox Lewis. You can get punished. You lose to guys you're not supposed to lose to. But then you beat the guys that are harder competition. It can happen. I mean,
Bradley and Ward. They both said that Fury's comfortably a better fighter as well.
The Fury has more skill. If I was a betting man, I would bet Fury would win. However,
so why we have this?
No, but it's not by as wide as everyone says. Like Joshua can win. I can see a clear route for
there's a
Joshua
way.
to win.
Joshua can win. He can.
No, he has a solid chance. Not just he has a one hit quicker.
It's like 30%.
I say
if they fight 10 times, he wins 3.
I say it's more 60-40 in favor of Fury at best.
So that's 10%.
So if they face 10 times, Fury wins 6, Joshua wins 4.
You think AJ will put up a better fight than Wilder?
Yes.
Oh yes. Because Wilder is a bit.
He
has no skill. He has no skills.
At
least Joshua has some kind of defense, even though Joshua gets hit way too much. He gets hit way too much.
Not as much as Wilder.
Yeah, true. Not as much as Wilder, but he gets hit way too much.
His heavyweight was improving. He's still put it this way: the longer they delay this fight, which could happen because obviously the WBO are trying to say he has to fight Usyk. They've already allowed him twice, and obviously Fury's going through his mediation process.
Vacate those belts, man.
Fury's going through his that goes against the road to undisputed, and obviously Fury's going through his mediation process with what's his face, Wilder. But the longer they wait, the longer they give time for Joshua to improve. That's what I'm saying.
If you're 31 and you think you're gonna get better, it doesn't work.
The heavyweights they improve still. They fight to old age. I remember Joshua. He's only been boxing not been boxing for that long, and he's willing to learn. He's not unlike Wilder, who they say doesn't. He even comes out and says himself, "I don't train properly. I cut corners." And yeah, you cut corners. That's why you got smacked by Fury. Well, that's part of the reason why you got smacked by Fury. So you know what I mean.
I'd rather want to see Wilder Joshua, to be honest.
That would be a shootout. We said, that'd be a great fight.
That'd be a straight shootout.
Both those fights, Wilder Joshua and Joshua Fury. I want to see the build up to the fight. I want to see the fight. I want to see the post fight analysis. That's gonna be a show and a half. Catch me in Vegas, baby.
I think there's more chance of Wilder Joshua than Fury Joshua.
No. Well, why do you think that?
Because I don't know, there's so much dodging that goes on in the heavyweight division. Wilder wants to fight because he knows he's on the edge. Wilder actually wants to fight anyone. He wants to fight. So he'll try and make it happen.
Well, he has to fight now, not about want to. Before
he has to, yeah. Now he's not in a position of power. He has to fight.
No,
so there's more chance of him making a deal with Joshua than I think Fury. Fury's I just can't place him, man.
Now, Fury, they said the deal's there to be made. Obviously, they got a few stumbling blocks in the WBO and the Wilder's silly mediation case about him, Fury, all the silly claims he's been saying about Fury. You know what I mean? They both want that fight. I mean, obviously, they're both UK-based, English-based, Joshua and Fury, and that'll be the biggest fight in British history, one of the biggest fights in world heavyweight history. Aaron said it'll be the biggest fight since Ali and Fraser in 1971. I think that was in Zaire, was it? I can't remember. Yeah, it was the Thriller Manila, I believe, yeah. Where I think he's from, Pacquiao, the Philippines, so,
Is that your bag?
My bag.
You like that kind of fights?
What kind of fights?
Fury Joshua.
Just everyone's bag that likes boxing.
Heavyweight.
Fury Joshua is the best. There's only two big fights. There's two monumental fights. There's Fury Joshua in heavyweight division, and there's Spence and Crawford in the welterweight division.
Spence and Crawford won't make nearly as much money as Fury and Joshua.
Yeah, because Fury and Joshua is heavyweights, and casual fans like heavyweights.
Anyway, let's switch gears.
How come Wilder didn't want to fight AJ when AJ was calling him out?
Because Wilder is a dunce.
Wilder fights bums.
Do you know what? Apparently the deal was like 100 million, the Zern contract to fight Joshua, but my belief is that Wilder was scared he was definitely scared of Joshua at that time, and he was running, which I don't understand, because at that time Joshua was actually quite vulnerable. That was the time for him to fight him.
Yeah, no, but Joshua hadn't lost. You know what I mean? It's easy to say I can beat someone once you've seen them lose.
Yeah, no, but at that time Joshua was more vulnerable as a boxer, but he hadn't seen him lose. He hadn't seen him lose, and Wilder thought he was going to lose his over as well. So that's why he didn't want to take that fight. And he wanted to take Fury fight because Fury had just come back from drugs and he was fighting guys like Otto Whalen, guys that were rattled off, guys that were even calling Fury trouble. Could cut him in the eye, and he was thinking, I can definitely beat Fury. Came back to bite him, man. Oh. And now Wilder's the bum of the division.
Well, Wilder's a funny guy, man. So there's more his team. I kind of believe Wilder wants to fight these fights himself, but he's easily manipulated by his team. And because his team knows he's not ready.
The Joshua fight?
Because he wanted to him and his team wanted an easy way out fighting Fury, or the overweight bloated Fury.
That was not the easy way out. That was definitely the hard way out.
Now we look. They had to do the rematch.
Hindsight.
You know what I mean? But let's go to football. Change gears.